Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, we're going to go Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. This is law number 2. Oh, we always go concise version, of course. The regular book is too damn long. Here we go, man. Law number 2 is never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Oh, judgment. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will be more loyal than a friend because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Keys to power. It is natural to want to employ your friends when you find yourself in times of need. The world is a harsh place, and your friends soften the harshness. Besides, you know them. Why depend on a stranger when you have a friend at hand? The problem is that you often do not know your friends as well as you imagine. Friends often agree on things in order to avoid an argument. They cover up their unpleasant qualities so as to not offend each other. They laugh extra hard at each other's jokes, since honesty rarely strengthens friendship. You may never know how a friend truly feels. Friends will say that they love your poetry, adore your music, envy your taste in clothes. Maybe they mean it, often they do not. When you decide to hire a friend, you gradually discover the qualities he or she has kept hidden. Strangely enough, it is your act of kindness that unbalances everything. People want to feel they deserve their good fortune. The receipt of a favor can become oppressive. It means you have been chosen because you are a friend, not necessarily because you are deserving. Hmm. That's why I talk about it's more so about who you know than what you know. That's a good point. There's almost a touch of condescension in the act of hiring friends that secretly afflicts them. The problem with using or hiring friends is that it will inevitably limit your power. The friend is rarely the one who is most able to help you, and in the end, skill and competence are far more important than friendly feelings. All working situations require a kind of distance between people. You are trying to work, not make friends. Friendliness, real or false, only obscures that fact. The key to power, then, is the ability to judge who is best able to further your interests in all situations. Your enemies, on the other hand, are an untapped gold mine that you must learn to exploit. When Talleyrand, Napoleon's foreign minister, decided in 1807 that his boss was leading France to ruin and the time had come to turn against him, he understood the dangers of conspiring against the emperor. He needed a partner, a confederate. What friend could he trust in such a project? He chose Fauci, head of the secret police, his most hated enemy, a man who had even tried to have him assassinated. He knew that their former hatred would create an opportunity for an emotional reconciliation. He knew that Fauci would expect nothing from him, and in fact would work to prove that he was worthy of Talleyrand's choice. A person who has something to prove will move mountains for you. Finally, he knew that his relationship with Fauci would be based on mutual self-interest and would not be contaminated by personal feeling. The selection proved perfect. Although the conspirators did not succeed in toppling Napoleon, the union of such powerful but unlikely partners generated much interest in the cause. Opposition to the emperor slowly began to spread, and from then on, Talleyrand's and Fauci's had a fruitful working relationship. Whenever you can, bury the hatchet with an enemy and make a point of putting him in your service. Never let the presence of enemies upset or distress you. You are far better off with a declared opponent or two than not knowing where your real enemies lie. The man of power welcomes conflict, using enemies to enhance his reputation as a sure footed fighter who can be relied upon in times of uncertainty. Judge, Image: the jaws of ingratitude, knowing what would happen if you put a finger in the mouth of a lion. You would stay clear of it. With friends, you will have no such caution, and if you hire them, they will eat you alive with ingratitude. Authority: know how to use your enemies for your own profit. You must learn to grab a sword, not by its blade, which would cut you, but by the handle, which allows you to defend yourself. The wise man profits more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. That is law number 2. Robert Greene. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use your enemies instead. It's deep, man. Obviously, every law doesn't apply to everyone, but I'll say this from my personal experience. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. I have worked with people, and I still work with people whom I strongly dislike, but I have learned to basically, it's almost in a sense easier to keep it professional because it's like, okay, you can see them from up front. So like there's, people, just like I said in previous videos, there are people who will love you for no reason just because of who you are, and there are people who gonna not like you, hate you for just because of who you are. If I know that you don't like me, it makes it easier in dealing with you because I know I don't have to really too much do. We're only gonna be talking about work. We're not friends. And on the flip side of that, I have worked with people who I've grown close with, and those are the people who upset me because I care for them, my personal feelings. And sometimes you get blinded by that because of your feelings for someone, that you caring for them and they're your friend, and you might be bending over backwards for them, trying to look out for them, and they could just genuinely be a bad worker. They could be lazy. They could be a dirtbag. And not to say that I'm perfect all the time, but I can see what he's saying. Why never put too much trust in your friends. You shouldn't put too much trust in anyone. Friends, family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, anyone. When you're so close to someone, you can't see the whole picture. So that's the thing with friends. When it's an enemy, you're gonna see them from a mile away because you're not gonna let them get too close to you. So it makes sense in that way. So never put too much trust in your friends. Rather learn how to use your enemies. Now, if you're trying to do business or all of this, whatever the case may be, you know, the saying, don't mix business with pleasure. There's a lot of truth to that, man. So I find it best, or from my life and my experience, I find it best to separate all of these things. If you can have some type of mutual thing, if your friend is qualified and legit qualified in this, or you are legit qualified in this, then that's different. But once you mix business with friendship or family and you get the mixing in money and all of this, the relationship changes. It will never be the same. I know this to be a fact. It will then become more about that. It'll be disagreements about that. You can't just go on and have a normal friendship where it's just the friendship, because now you got this how you my boy, but you just got me in trouble at work, like, you know what I'm saying, or you costing me money, or I'm, you know what I'm saying. Now I can't. My feelings are changing. So whenever you mix that, it definitely changes, man. So Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. This is law number 2. Never put too much trust in your friends. Learn how to use your enemies. In case y'all didn't know, because y'all might not know, I am Richard Wilson. I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all soon. More content on the way. More videos on the way. We're just getting started, baby. Thank you guys. And y'all have a good night.